Hey YouTube, so what I'm going to do now is I am actually going to show you how I meal plan for the week. I know this will probably change come the fall when both Alex and I are working, and it might be more of, instead of just like a menu with more prepared meals, it might be more beginning of the week meal planning for the week and do something different on the weekends. So I'll be sure to do an updated version come the fall. But for right now, during the summer, this is how I meal plan. So my first step is I go ahead and set up a template for the week, and I just do this on a scratch piece of paper, notebook paper, something. I just grabbed a piece of notebook paper for this video. Usually I use the actual notepad that's under it, but it's got different advertisements on it because it was given to me at a conference, I think. So for you guys, this, but for any other day, it would just be whatever piece of paper, scratch paper, whatever. So I just put in a spot for me for breakfast and lunch, and Alex for breakfast and lunch because we're on different schedules. So we have that set up Monday through Sunday, and then a spot for both of us because we always try to eat dinner together. So then what I'll do is I'll usually ask him what he wants for breakfast this week because he usually does the same thing every day, Monday through Friday, because he says that's just easy for him. So this week we have a lot of oatmeal left, so this week will be an oatmeal week. Some days he'll do peanut butter toast and honey, different things like that, but I'll go ahead and fill it in with oatmeal. So after I did that, I went ahead and put oatmeal for Monday through Friday, and then for Saturday, I wrote oatmeal or fried egg and toast. And this is just to give him one thing to jazz it up. Usually on Saturdays, he eats the same thing he's been eating, but that's also for flexibility's sake. Say if he wanted something on a different day, it would just shift within here. We're not set in stone with these things, but that's just for some flexibility. Then I would do mine. Usually when we have oatmeal, I'll eat that every other day, and then on the days I don't have oatmeal, I will have a smoothie. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Sometimes every now and again, I'll do an egg and toast as well. So I'll put that in my Saturday spot, and it's kind of like the free spot in bingo. Even though it's on Saturday here, I'm prepared to do it. I can do it whichever day I want it to jazz things up a bit. So I accidentally wrote oatmeal on a couple days. I got excited and just started writing it, but I changed this out. So I've got smoothie, oatmeal, smoothie, oatmeal, smoothie, oatmeal, or fried egg and toast. And I probably won't necessarily follow this, but I might say on Tuesday, oh, I want a smoothie again, and then I'll have oatmeal here or something like that. But I do it this way so that I have a general idea, but it still gives me some flexibility on different days to kind of go with what I'm craving and have that freedom. It's the summer after all. I'm a school teacher. If I want to change my mind, I can change my mind. But this gives me a template to help me write the actual grocery list, and I'll show you that in a minute. After I get this part done, I'm going to go ahead and fill in Sunday for both of us. Sunday we have breakfast together, and we usually do like pancakes and bacon or pancakes and ham or something like that. This week we're doing French toast and bacon, so then this week I'll put something like pancakes and ham. And that's just, we always make sure we have nice breakfast together on Sundays because we tend to wake up a little later too, and it works out really well, and it's become part of our normal weekend routine. Actually, I said that wrong. This week we are having, we're having French toast and sausage. So next week we'll do like pancakes and ham. So after that, we will fill in the lunches. And what I'm going to do for both of us, Monday through Saturday, is I'm going to put in every other day salad, and on the days that we don't have salad, a sandwich. And it works with the same kind of flexibility thing, but we're both trying to be a little bit healthier. So we'll put the salads, but at the same time, sometimes sandwiches are just quick and easy. So once I fill that in, that's when usually on Thursday nights when Alex gets home from work, we will plan our dinners together. And that we do that because I go shopping on Fridays. So, or he goes, or we both go, whatever. We go shopping on Friday, so Thursday we make sure we fill this in for the following week. Now, he's not here right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish doing this one for you guys so that you can see how we do things. And we're kind of in a pattern and a routine now, so it's not too terribly big of a deal. The reason I put LO for Sunday's lunch is that gives us the flexibility to have leftovers that day, because sometimes for lunch we might take leftovers. He might do a leftovers day. I might do a leftovers day for lunch. We might not have the salad here. Sundays we usually just finish up whatever's left from the week, because we don't want any leftovers to go to waste, and that way we're set for a fresh start with our new menu on Monday. So that's Sunday's usually a finish up kind of day, and we normally do that on Sunday nights as well. We also usually leave it pretty flexible, and we'll write leftovers on both Saturday and Sunday because, like I said, we've been doing some stuff with my parents, so we've had dinner at their house several times. So I usually kind of count on that because in the past we've had too much food and I don't want it to go to waste, but that usually lets us balance it out. Now, this week, since Alex's schedule has changed, we probably won't have leftovers this Saturday. He's getting off late on Fridays now, so Saturday is most likely going to be our new date night. Now, if we're working on the projects at my parents' house, we'll switch these two, but I will write the menu out either way. And I'll always write date night on the menu. That way we can really highlight it. And since it is Alex's choice, I'm not going to fill this one in. I'll ask him what he wants for there, but we'll normally, whenever we choose it, look at any vegetables we already have to see what would go good with them so they don't go to waste. Or if he wants to do something specific, that will be left up to him, and we will go from there to write it on the grocery list. And the rest of these days I fill in. So to fill in our weeknights, what I have to do is usually I will look at any of the meats that we already have in the freezer and plan meals around those. That way, if it's not necessary to buy something, I don't just run out and buy it. I know for a fact this week that we're currently in, we plan on finishing up everything that we had frozen in the freezer. So this will all be buying fresh new stuff. So I'm going to put in something that can, so that we have a well-rounded batch of meats. I will probably have chicken, maybe even 2 things with chicken, because it does good for meal prep if we need a leftovers for lunch. For salads, I will probably do something with hamburger meat. Let's see, this past week we had both tacos and spaghetti. This week it might be something simple like a hamburger helper or something like that. And usually we'll either do a tilapia or a pork tenderloin or a turkey loin if I find one of those in the store. So I'm going to go ahead and put those meats in now. So what I've done now is I've just put chicken, hamburger helper, and a tenderloin here. Once I have this, then I'll go ahead and normally write salad on each day because we're working on these vegetables, guys, but then I'll go ahead and choose another vegetable or 2 to go here. And these 2 blank days I'm going to put for leftovers, and like I've said before, we can shift it whichever way throughout the week based on how we're feeling. This just helps us set up so that we can write a grocery list where we don't get too much and we don't get too little, unless it's something that can go in the freezer and be stored, but we don't want to be wasteful. This is it. Now I have my menu set up so far. I put in those leftover days. I added salad. I added vegetables. On the hamburger helper one, I put green beans because I know I have those in the cabinet. Normally I would also look and see what vegetables do I already have, but I know that this week, like I said, we've pretty much trimmed stuff down. This will be a resupply week. And I've left these 2 generic. That way if I go to the grocery store, say if I really, really wanted asparagus to go with this dish this day, but that I got to the store and it didn't look good, I could just grab some broccoli, something. I leave it flexible like that. My mom also gets Misfit boxes, and sometimes she gives me vegetables, so I leave it kind of general. That way if she gives me something, when I go to the grocery store, I know I already have something for that. But I leave those open so that we can be a little bit flexible with what we want because they're pretty comparable. A vegetable's a vegetable. It might be a squash one day. It might be broccoli. It might be cauliflower. You don't know. We'll see what's available when we go there. So this is it. This is my menu for the week. Okay, so now that you have seen, whoa, what happened with this hair? Hang on. We will cut this, but I've got to look. So now that you've seen how I make the actual menu for my meal plan, now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I write it onto the grocery list, just so you can see kind of how I do things. The first step would be looking at it and seeing anything that we already have and going from there, but I'm going to show you as we go. The first thing I'm going to do is actually going to look in the freezer and the refrigerator to see what we already have. You look, I've got a lot of frozen fruit that I have set aside for my smoothies already, so that's good. That's the French bread for Saturday. That's okay. So I would know, okay, I'm good on smoothie stuff. I don't really need to buy that. I even have frozen bananas, but I could get a couple fresh ones if I wanted to. I've got leftovers in here, other stuff. The chicken, there's only a couple pieces. I know I'm using that up this week, so that's definitely going to go on there. After that, I would look at staples like cheese. Are we good on cheese? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's a Tuesday. We normally look at this stuff on Thursday, Friday. So bear with me here. There is a lot more than I would actually have, but I would check and see how many eggs we have. I would see, do we have enough sandwich meat? All of that kind of thing. And we usually have fruit for snacks. I would check fruit drawer. Fruit drawer looks good. Usually these are out on the counter, but we had a bunch, so we put them in here just to make sure they lasted. And I would also check on the bread situation, and I see that we're good, so that wouldn't necessarily go on the list. Like I was saying, it's a Tuesday, so I would double check for the grocery list sake much later in the week, but since I have this week's menu I'm currently looking at, I kind of know what we're going to be out of by the end of the week. So I'll show you on the grocery list as we write it now. I would also normally check the fruit basket and see how it is, and I would check the cabinets with the canned goods just to see if there was anything I could make work for the vegetables and that kind of thing. Once I do all of this and I check everything out, now I have this here and my grocery list here. And what I'll do is this is something I learned from my parents. I've done this because that's what they taught me when I was little, and it still works. I put a line down the middle. On this side is any kind of toiletry items, and on this side is food stuff. So I know what departments I need to go to and all of that. And then I can just look here and generally go. If I do a quick look at each category, okay, I know we have a lot of eggs left, so we're still good. I know we have oatmeal, so we're good on that. I checked my smoothie stuff. We're still good on that. So, but I do want a couple fresh bananas because they help it blend well. So then I would come in here and I would just, on my list, write bananas. And then I would go to the next category, sandwiches and salads. I know for a fact that I'm good on bread. And we have lettuce, but I know we would need sandwich meat that could be used on both. So then, as I was saying, I know we would have sandwich meat that we could use on both. So I would just write, now I'm going to skip a line to make this work, but sandwich meat, and I'm going to write cheese because we would need that. And usually we get cheese for sandwiches, but we'll also get like a salad cheese, and it might be a blue cheese, it might be a goat cheese, it might be feta cheese, whatever, but I just write salad cheese, and then when I get to the store, kind of choose one of the crumbly ones that looks good that day. So like I said, flexibility. Look at Alex's category. Same thing. I'm good on bread, but I know at the rate he's going through bread this week, he will need bread. And I usually just write Alex bread. If they have the exact one he wants, that's what I get. If they're out, because of all the COVID stuff that's happened, most of the time lately, bread's been good, but still, I'll get one comparable. But that way I know, and if I wrote just bread on the list, I'd be like, oh, I'm fine. But if I write Alex bread, then I know, get the one he eats. Then I look over here at pancakes and ham, and I'll go, okay, I know we have the pancake mix because... Actually, let me show you guys this. This is what we do for pancakes. Because it's just the two of us, this works super well. And yes, I got this from Pinterest. Some of you guys will know. Excuse everything that has piled up there. Okay. We will do the thing where we just get a muffin mix and put some milk and an egg in it. And it's pancake. It makes like 6 or 7. And that's the perfect thing for us. So that's what we do there for pancake mix. And I know since we have that one, we're good. So I don't need to write it. But breakfast ham. So I'll write, let me get where you can see this. Breakfast ham on the list. And I'm going to go on so on and so forth. I'm going to pause here. I'll catch you guys in a minute so I can catch you up once I get the food side done. There you have it. I have gone in and I have filled everything else in. I left it kind of general, wrote the 2 vegetables, so I remembered to get that. Remembered I needed to actually get the hamburger helper to go with the hamburger meat. And I left date night here. That way I can remember to ask Alex what he wants. That way if I don't get it here, I remember to get it here so that he can plan that. And then I'll go around the house and I'll ask him, is there anything we're out of that we just need? So we need some more Swiffer dusters, some liquid soap, some paper towels, a couple things that we specifically need. And so I wrote them separately so that I remember. I need a new calendar because mine runs out this month. Tip from my mom, the bleach is too heavy. I spill it and it damages things. So I need a plastic measuring cup to pour it into. That way I don't spill it. He needs an umbrella. I want to get another pop-up hamper. And he needs a shade for his car because it's been getting so hot. So all the random things. And then I'll usually ask him and say, and you have, ladies, this is a tip for you. You can't say, is there anything you need? You have to say, what have you run out of? Or what will you run out of before next week when I go shopping again? Because if you say, are you out of anything? And they go, no, they've got like 2 drops of shampoo left or something. You have to be like, will it last you a whole week? Because if not, he'll be trying to like go after work or something. And then if he does that, then I'm waiting to eat, and that's never good. But it's just, you have to ask specific questions, find out what they need. We'll fill it in as we go. And whenever we run out of something throughout the week, we try to go ahead and have a running list and write it up here. So whenever we run out of the liquid soap or get close to it, we'll go ahead and write it down. Same with milk. When I run low on milk, I'll go ahead and put it on here. If we notice that we're running out of sunscreen, we'll go ahead and write it on here. That way we don't always have to go around the whole house to see what else we need. But if we do, we try to do that before we leave too. That is pretty much it. That is how I make my menus, and from that, my shopping list. As you can see, I leave it pretty flexible. That way if I get to the store and something doesn't look so good, I know what I'm getting. I can get something else instead that'll still work, and it gives me enough range that throughout the week, if I get bored and don't want the same thing, or I want to change it up, I can. Or say on the day when I have chicken, salad, and vegetable, okay, I know I'm having something with chicken and something with a vegetable. Okay, on that day I might realize, ooh, I have squash and cabbage. I could do a stir fry and throw in some ramen noodles that I still have left from the last time we bought ramen noodles. So it gives me a general idea for ingredients, but it allows me to be flexible within the moment. But the best thing about it is if I get home, like I said, I've been helping with my parents with some stuff and my brother. And so at their house, and there was one day last week, he beat me home. And I got home, I was like, I have to take a shower. Can you do the food? He was able to look at this menu right on the fridge, know exactly what day it was, and get straight to it so that he could do the dinner that day. It's been very, very helpful for that so that we stay on track. And I keep it right on the fridge where we can both see it. And I usually, as the days go by, I highlight the days that we've already done so that everybody's on the same page. It works really, really well, at least for me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll remember to do, when we figure out how things are going to work in the fall when we're both back in work, I will do an updated one because I know it will be more of a traditional meal prep for the week, Monday through Friday. So I will keep you guys posted. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, all the things. And so long from the little greenhouse.